Today for reading, we're learning to learn about characters in a story by learning with the characters. So I'm going to read a part of George's Marvelous Medicine. It's the very beginning in chapter 1. If you haven't listened to that read aloud, go ahead and go back and listen to that read aloud in the read aloud sections. But I'm going to read a little bit and we're going to learn about George's grandmother with George. So it starts with, "Are you joking, Grandma?" "I never joke," she said. "Beetles are perhaps the best of all. They go crunch." So right now, George is learning that his grandma eats beetles? Seems really weird. "Grandma, that's beastly." The old hag grinned, showing her pale brown teeth. "Sometimes, if you're lucky," she said, "you get a beetle inside the stem of a celery stick. A stick of celery. That's what I like." "Grandma, how could you?" "You find all sorts of nice things in sticks of raw celery," the old woman went on. "Sometimes it's earwigs." "I don't want to hear about it," George cried. "A big, fat earwig is very tasty," Grandma said, licking her lips. But you've got to be real quick, my dear, when you put one of those in your mouth. It has a pair of sharp nippers on its back ends, and if it grabs your tongue with those, it never lets go. So you've got to bite the earwig first, chop, chop, before it bites you. George started edging towards the door. He wanted to get as far away from possible as from this filthy woman. In this short section of the text, George is actually learning something about his grandmother that he didn't know before. He knew that his grandmother was a little bit strange. He thought she was a little bit mean, but in here he's learning that she's worse than mean. She's very, very strange. I would find it very strange to find out that someone that I knew ate earwigs or slugs or beetles. That would be gross. So your job today as you're reading is to learn along with your character. Maybe your character is learning about another character like George. Maybe your character is learning about themselves. Maybe your character is learning about their setting and what makes their story fantasy and strange. But learn along with your character as you read and take notes on things that your character learns and that you learn.